Welcome to Experience Means Business, a podcast by Adobe Professional Services and Adobe Ultimate Success. Get your scoop of digital trends, strategies, expert insights, best practices, and much more to keep you moving on your digital experience journey.
Welcome everyone to this episode of Adobe Experience Means Business. I am Meera Nair, honored to be your host, and today we are privileged to have our distinguished guest, Mr. Ravi Santhanam, Group Head and Chief Marketing Officer and Head Direct-to-Consumer Business at HDFC Bank. Ravi has been instrumental in conceptualizing and implementing strategic initiatives at HDFC Bank with a key focus on leveraging technology and innovation to enhance customer experience. Ravi, a warm welcome to the show and thank you for joining us today.
My pleasure.
The long-standing partnership between Adobe and HDFC Bank, spanning over 6 years, it has just evolved into this exemplary ultimate success relationship. And it's so fascinating to see how collaboration and partnership is driving innovation. We're just eager to explore and unravel that thought leadership behind driving this initiative. We have been hearing countless organizations discuss how imperative it is to implement orchestration at scale. How is HDFC Bank reimagining its marketing strategies to align with this priority?
See, in every time period, there are certain buzzwords which keep coming up, and orchestration at scale is the current buzzword, which forces many of us to look at it from a perspective of saying, what does this mean for an organization like HDFC Bank? What it means for us is, can we be relevant to each and every customer in each and every interaction that we have with the customer? Now, if that needs to be done, and if that's a goal that we are aspiring for, we need to be in a position to ensure that we have enough data about the customers. We mine that data, create insights, have lots of analytics embedded in, and then use this understanding of the insights about the customer, anticipate the needs of the customers, and try and create experiences which match their current interests at that point of time. Now, when we talk about 80 million customer base and countless amount of interactions, earlier interactions were only in the physical domain. Now with the digital domains, the number of interactions keeps going up. How do we manage all these stuff? You might be able to anticipate the needs of the customers, but then across each and every touch point, across each and every engagement point of the customer, how do you get the entire interaction data as well as the transaction data as well as the behavior data, put it together, create insights, and make meaningful experiences come alive? I think that's possible only if you have data at the core, analytics at the core, and how do you actually merge these two things together and also have the digital properties where we can bring it alive, and also in the physical interactions. How do you actually make sure that the sales team is made aware of all these at the touch of a button so that when they have an interaction with the customer, the entire past experience of the bank's interaction with that customer is made available. For us, it's all about data, analytics, and how do we put it together and how do we bring it alive in the front end, whether it is a digital property or whether it's a physical interaction.
Absolutely. I think that capability to collect data, relevant information, and targeting the customer right, that's very important. I think what's also important is, are we reaching the consumer where they are, right? And I think that is where it gave birth to D2C, which is this whole idea of direct to consumer. Can you throw more light on how this idea originated? Was it a top-down initiative coming from the board, or was it your marketing org who played a pivotal role in driving this?
I joined the bank 7 years back, and see, banking is one of those kind of industries where you don't need the physical product actually, and you can do a lot of money transfer electronically, and everything happens electronically. So it's one of those prime kind of an industry where you can actually directly reach the customer, sell your products, engage with the customer, and that's possible. Not every industry it's possible to do everything direct to consumer way. So when we had joined, we had our MD talking about technology, and transactions were already digitized in a bank, and it's a question of time before more and more people adopt the digital way of doing the transactions. The engagement, the service engagement and the sales engagement and the relationship engagement, if we look at it, technology was being used as an enabler for all this stuff and not necessarily seen as an ability technology has for origination as well as fulfillment. And we said that's possible with the today's technology and the way we are actually having a product where it can be done digitally. And there was a very clear alignment of interest between the top management and the operating team. And they said, yes, we should go for it. Let's see what we need to do as an organization to get there. What are the steps that we need to take? And we said, the steps are only threefold for us. One is we need to generate traffic in terms of consumers coming into our digital properties. We are already having a lot of consumers coming into our logged-in properties as well as the physical branches. So we need to create more and more traffic, and for that there is a lot of digital marketing that we need to do. Then every visit of a customer, how do we actually personalize that interaction? And I still remember my managing director telling me as a joke saying, if you invite people to your home, would you not greet them by their name? Would you not think about what is it that they would like to have and make food like that? Yeah. Would you not ask them what's their drink and serve what they wanted to have? If that's what is happening, why we should not be doing it in the digital world? And if that's what you are promising will happen, we will support you, please do that. And it's as simple as that. And there's a lot of these kind of natural way of human interactions, and we just said, okay, we need to port these kind of interactions into the digital, and that requires a huge amount of investment in analytics to first identify the customer. Right. We should know a lot of information about what is the next best action that we need to have a conversation with the customer, and then put it together and make it come alive instantly for every visit that the customer has on our digital properties as well as on the physical properties, whether it's a branch or anywhere else. Third is, now that you have got traffic and you are personalizing each and every interaction, it's happening in the digital property, the end outcome that we are expecting is consumers get to know about what we have to offer and they expressed an interest. If they express an interest, earlier the whole idea was to just take a lead and give it to the sales channel at the physical level for them to go ahead and complete the fulfillment process. But as I started off, this is one of those industries where we don't have a physical product to sell. We said we can actually create the journeys and start fulfilling the journeys instead of just stopping at the lead level. And we started investing in journey creation along with even online credit approval. And to be very frank, the India stack was also coming up very, very big way, whether it is the identification stack in Aadhaar, whether it is the authentication via Aadhaar and other stuff, DigiLocker, as well as the account aggregator which has come in today. All these India stack also gives a huge amount of lift to the dream that we had, saying yes, we can do the fulfillment digitally. And HDFC Bank was the pioneer because we started off 10 seconds pre-approved loan fulfillment way back in 2015. Now for us, it's now a step in terms of saying non-pre-approved customers, new to bank customers, how do we collect the data, identify, authenticate, and then get the entire credit information digitally, do the verification digitally, and as we said, demonetization happened, it gave a fillip in one direction on digital adoption, and the bad thing, COVID happened, it also gave a different adoption of digital by consumers. And I think it's all coming together is what made D2C a reality. And we are very happy that we have taken the first step in terms of clearly articulating that we will have a direct-to-consumer business. The entire retail assets and the retail liability products that the bank provides, in addition to digital-only products, we will have a role to play in terms of putting it in front of the customers, using the entire marketing muscle that the bank has, using the entire branch network that the bank has, using the entire 200,000 smiling faces who work for the bank. We will reach out to the customers, showcase to them how it is possible to take care of their requirements digitally. And I started by saying, whether it is a sales, whether it is a service, or whether it is a transaction, or it is pure knowledge, we will have it in our digital properties so that consumers can come and directly take care of their entire needs. And the branch will be the biggest relationship center, which will help and guide the consumers in their financial journey. And that's how D2C was born.
Absolutely. So Ravi, for all that we do, I think looking at the measured impact also becomes very, very important. Did experiencing return on investment change the way your organization approaches the new strategic initiatives?
The answer is an absolute yes. And HDFC Bank is HDFC Bank primarily because of the fact that it measures every actions against the desired outcome. And there have been countless number of success stories and there have been countless number of failures also. But every failure is a reason for us to learn and keep moving ahead in that direction. And that's what HDFC Bank is extremely famous for. The best advantage we saw when we put in these kind of technological investments and coming from marketing background, obviously everybody said, if you spend money, we don't know what is the impact. Here was the first time that you spend money and can immediately correlate an impact with the actual fulfillment. So we're not stopping at traffic generation, we're not stopping at personalization, and we're not stopping at just creating a journey and not completing the transaction. So today we're in a position to do the entire 360, then what happens is we can actually measure the spend against the outcome, whether it is in terms of sale of a credit card, whether it is in terms of opening a new account, getting it funded, whether it is any of the retail loan that the bank actually serves the customers with. Actually, we have moved to the service journeys also, saying that why can't we get most of the service journeys also, which are being enabled digitally by the bank, in front of the customer and let them get the service on their own, wherever they want, whenever they want. The early success definitely gives a lot of boost, and thing is, it's also need to be understood the difference between a technology which led to the success, or it is the ability of the team along with a whole host of other consumer things that you understand. How do you bring it together to make it a success? So if you keep it open, people will say it is technology that helped. But what is more important for us to appreciate and go ahead and convince the organization and convince a lot of other people is, here is a technology, it is a marketing technology, but how are we using it? How are we able to get to the bottom of every customer's behavior in an application form? How are we using automated remarketing to understand? How are we trying to first do deep analytics before coming into the journey, or who to attract first? And when they are in the journey, how do you do what you do in terms of which channel we need to call now to intervene with the customer? Whether it should be a simple SMS reminder or it should be a telecaller who should be calling the customer now. Should it be a company-initiated call? It should be a customer-initiated call. At what point of time? How do you bring deep analytics expertise into understanding these kind of journeys and the consumer behavior, and how do you bring it all together? So the whole idea is to bring technology, the marketing domain and the consumer knowledge experience, and the digital journey expertise which people in this bank has today now. How do you bring all three together so that finally the ROI can be measured based on the investments we have put not only on the technology, on the operations, as well as the marketing money against a very defined outcome in terms of how much we are actually able to sell with zero human touch. So we are extremely proud of the fact that we have been able to create end-to-end zero human touch journeys for almost all the retail asset products in the bank.
Ravi, you spoke about failures, right? And with every transformative journey, there would be challenges that the team would face. What's that biggest challenge that you faced while you were establishing the whole direct-to-consumer business, and how did you overcome that challenge?
I think first and foremost, the credit goes to the management, which had large faith, deep faith, huge trust, saying this is an area that we will continue to invest and we will continue to support with all the resources in terms of technology, people, time, review times and other stuff. So that's the first reason that we are where we are today. The learning is, maybe we were a little bit naive when we started this. We didn't estimate really the under the hood engineering on the data side and other stuff that we need to do to get to this level of where we are today. I think we underestimated that a lot, and yes, there are lots of legacy systems in banks, and some of the legacy systems may not be so nimble-footed in terms of ability to expose what they do internally in terms of a microservices architecture or an API or something of that sort. So we did underestimate, but credit goes to again HDFC Bank and the leadership here that they said keep persisting. We believe in this, keep persisting. You might have certain hiccups in terms of some of these areas. Find out a solution within what is possible, and we can keep slowly moving, inching up in terms of making this many more automated ways. I think now we are in a much, much bigger space in terms of many of the legacy systems. We have been able to carve out a lot of microservices architecture, microservices, APIs and other things, which exposes what's happening so that the front-end digital journeys can consume all this stuff. Now we are in a far, far better space. We'll still keep investing in the core of the bank to make sure that they are in a different architecture based on the current needs of the front-end journeys. Far better space. The biggest thing was that. But again, it's all about persevering. Yeah. There is a vision from the top management saying that this is something which we will persevere with, we will continue to invest with. And they kept goading us saying, don't bother, don't get frustrated, it will happen, but we will overcome. And also a huge amount of credit goes to the entire foot soldiers that we had in the bank who said, yes, we all believe in this, we'll keep at it, we'll keep at it. And the early success stories in some other journeys makes people believe that if we overcome, here is another pot of gold waiting for you to actually see. So I think that's the biggest learning for all of us.
Absolutely, absolutely. Ravi, we spoke about the oh no movements, right, with the challenges. And we also know that every transformation or a journey also comes with the aha moments. Were there any such aha moments that you were able to see in this transformation or in your initiatives that would have solidified the perspective of investing more in such initiatives?
There were many actually. I think the biggest aha moment came when we made the first journey live and we started an increase in the numbers. And the aha moment is also about the fact that you were able to see with maybe a 25-30 minute time lag what's happening. Okay, how many customers have walked into the shop today, how many people are doing what. I think that technology empowerment, having the ability to see in real time what's happening on a journey was the first aha moment, and there were multiple aha moments as we started with new journeys and we start seeing traffic, we start seeing completion, we start seeing increase in revenues and completion of the journeys, and there were many. I think every aha moment makes the entire team more energized and they continue to keep doing it. And we have been also able to push the envelope and what we could do for our own digital. Today the vision is like, we have done so much, can we take it to the physical channels and enable them further to improve their productivity. So the focus now has shifted. While the digital will continue to do what it is going to do and it will keep scaling up, with so much of technology in place, how do we actually bring the physical channel into the same ambit? How do we actually enable them to do much, much better when they're standing or sitting in front of the customer? And that's the next phase that we are looking at.
Absolutely. I remember walking into, the office and your floor, and I saw this big screen put up with analytics reports, right? That was a moment for Team Adobe as well to see our reports and dashboards being there, and we also know how much the management and the top leadership looks at all the mobile dashboards, right? Like you said, probably half an hour or maybe even every 10 minutes to just see how the performance is improving. So yeah, it goes both way for Adobe as well as for HDFC Bank. With that said, how has your collaboration been with Adobe over the years? Like I said, this whole relationship has just evolved to be an ultimate success relationship.
First, many thanks to Adobe for being a strategic partner and not being seen as a vendor first. I think that's the biggest difference that we could establish between both the organizations. The commitments from the two CEOs when we all came together was also very high. And I think that set the tone for the rest of the organization in terms of adopting this technology. And at the operating level, what we see is the amount of effort which both the sides are putting in to make sure that every element of the technology, the product suite, is getting leveraged. And we are the first one to say that we will go ahead and pilot, and Adobe says, hey, here is a new thing, we would like to pilot with you. And from there it starts. The implementation has been smooth. Peer-to-peer contacts which Adobe is able to bring in terms of making sure that we learn from world over what other BFSI partners, say for example in Australia or in Asia Pac or US is trying to do or Europe is trying to do, learning from them, learning across industries in terms of personalization at scale, campaigning at scale, and even the certification process, making sure that the entire team which actually works on these kind of products are getting certified to actually use these products and get a certification done. The impromptu quiz sessions, the impromptu knowledge sharing sessions. I think all of these have helped in terms of accepting Adobe as a strategic partner, accepting each and every tool that we have deployed, and people trying to push the envelope in terms of who is using better this particular tool. Creating more transparency and visibility in terms of performance, which also acts as a great motivator for people to push each other, saying my campaign is doing well, it is being displayed. Suddenly you go and see, as you said, the TV screen and they say, oh, what is happening yesterday? Your campaign is not doing well, numbers are not doing well. So automatically it creates a lot of energy in the floor. Plus, when technology is used with a very specific outcome purpose, which is very clearly defined, and it actually delivers that purpose, acceptance of that technology, acceptance of that particular partner actually increases manifold. And I think that's what has happened. Many thanks to you people for making experience a business. And as I keep saying that we are in the experience business. And if you're not in the experience business, you're not in business at all.
Right.
So that's our philosophy, that we are in an experience business, we are an experience economy as of now. At this point of time, how do we actually create multiple experiences, and how do we make sure that each and every experience is a joyful one, brings a smile on the consumer face, and technology is an enabler for getting it done, and we are very happy to have partnered with you.
Thank you so much, Ravi, for sharing your valuable insights. It has been a great discussion, and we look forward to seeing how HDFC Bank is going to scale in the dynamic world of digital banking. To our viewers, thank you for tuning in, and stay tuned for more such exciting episodes on Adobe Experience Means Business. Until next time, take care.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Let us know what you think in the comments section below, or start a conversation by writing to us at infoacs@adobe.com. That's infoacs@adobe.com. See you later for more Experience Means Business.